Hey guys, what's up? 8Ball Sports here, and if you're wondering why I'm wearing the same clothes as the NHL video that went out Sunday night, that is because this is being recorded Sunday night and should be going up Tuesday. As you know by the video, I'm going to be talking about if steroid users should get into the Hall of Fame. I read a book by Jose Canseco. You probably, if you are a fan of baseball, you've heard of it, Juiced. And then his follow-up book, Vindicated, in which he kind of named names and also said that 80% of players were using during his time in the majors. He kind of, in a way, saved the game of baseball, some might say, in that, you know, he kind of took steroids out of the game or limited them in the game. So, what do we do with the players whose stats have been affected by steroids? Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, they all come to mind. None of them are in the Hall of Fame. And do I believe that they should be? I believe Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. Steroids or not, you still have to have great eye-hand coordination. You still have to be able to hit the ball. You still have to be able to hit the ball hard. You still have to be able to run. You still have to be able to... You still have to do all the baseball fundamentals. It's just that when you hit the ball, it may go farther. Or it will go farther, assuming you're using steroids correctly and enough of them. So it's interesting. I believe Vaughn should, because he leads. He's the home run king. You can't not have the home run king in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, steroids or not. In my opinion, Hank Aaron's still the home run king, but there's no way you can't. Since we decided to leave the records up, I think we should decide to take him into the Hall of Fame as well. In the past Hall of Fame results, Barry Bonds did get 53.8%, which isn't terrible. I think it's probably the closest that any steroid user's actually ever been to making it into the Hall of Fame. Known steroid user. Sammy Sosa only got 8.6, Manny Ramirez got 23.8. Those are the three that were on the list that were known steroid users. I went and did some research on my phone, and Fred McGriff, not a steroid user, a fantastic baseball player, a good long career, played with the Braves, played with the, I believe he played with the Blue Jays? No, I don't know. I know he played for the Braves. He's the only player he's the only player to hit over 475 home runs and not be in the Hall of Fame that wasn't a known steroid user. And if you look at him last year in his Hall of Fame thing, he only got 21.7% of the vote. So, what's up with that, I guess? You know, if we're going to give guys that hit, you know, just over 475 home runs, similar averages, excuse me for 1 second, if we're going to give guys with similar stats a pass into the Hall of Fame that weren't steroid users, just guys similar stats to him. I mean, in Fred McGriff's career, let me pull it up right here, hang on, he hit 493 home runs, almost had 2,500 hits, 10 hits away, and batted .284. That's a Hall of Fame career to me. He's getting less votes than Manny Ramirez, a known steroid user. Yet, the committee has made it clear in the past that they're not going to take, or some of them don't accept steroid users. That's just the fact. Some of them just don't want them to be in the game. They think they ruin the game, and they think it's better if they aren't in there. Then why does Manny Ramirez have more votes? Give me 1 second. Okay, so I quickly looked up Manny Ramirez's stats, and Ramirez, I think, has a pretty solid case of getting in if he didn't use steroids. If he didn't use steroids, he definitely would be in here. 555 home runs, over 2,500 hits, and a batting average of .312. But I'm going to take this kind of like, take away steroids. Let's say we lower his batting average to 300. Still a very impressive batting average. We lower his hits to exactly 2,500. That's only taking away 74 hits. So that's kind of being, for his batting average to dip that much, his hits would have to go down, but probably more. But we're just going to round it out where we want to round it out. Home runs, we'll dip it all the way to 500. Take away 55 home runs. So we hit 500 home runs batting .300 with 2,500 hits. Very similar to Fred McGriff. Alright, McGriff, 493 home runs, hits almost exactly the same average. McGriff has a little bit of a lower average. McGriff's 7 home runs away, 10 hits away, and 16.016 away from the batting average of 300. But we know Manny Ramirez is a steroid user, so we immediately rule him out. Yet I just did some simple math not math. Now that's not proven. You know, he could have failed without steroids. But most players that make it to the major for a reason. And some major league players use steroids and aren't good. They aren't all-stars. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm saying Manny Ramirez should be a Hall of Famer. Now, Sammy Sosa, completely different to me. I don't think Sammy Sosa should be in the Hall of Fame. I give you 3 at the beginning. Bonds, Ramirez, and Sosa. I've already clarified. I almost just gave you the middle finger. I've already clarified I think Bonds and Ramirez should be in the Hall of Fame. That leaves 1. That's Sammy Sosa. He only got 8.6%. He gets 609 home runs. So what's up, you know? If I say I lower that to 575, not lowering it by much, but lower that to 575. Hits barely got over 2,400. I'm going to lower it to 2,350. And his average was at 273, lowering that to 260. 260. Sosa's stats aren't even that impressive. That's being nice. That's only taking away 34 home runs. Quick math in my head right there. 34 home runs. I would say you take off steroids, he loses 5 to 10 home runs a season. I don't know how long he played, but I will say that's probably 120 home runs. Well, that's 12 seasons. So really thinking about it that way, he'd be under 500 home runs. He'd be under the 500 home run mark. Think about that Manny Ramirez's way. He played, 15 years? We'll say 12 again. We'll use the same numbers. And we'll say 5 to 10 home runs. Average hits 5 to 10%. Not per year, but home runs wise. So he loses 120 home runs as well. Then Manny Ramirez, this is a more logical, forget what I said at the beginning, it's more logical. Manny Ramirez is down to 435 if he loses 120 home runs. Hits would probably go down to 2,400, while Sosa's went down to 2,250. Those aren't Hall of Fame stats. Yet Fred McGriff has better, but Manny Ramirez had more votes. I feel like the committee has sent us mixed messages in the past about steroid use. You know, at first, it's kind of been, no, we're not going to allow them into the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds is not too far away. I mean, he still is going to have to get 25% more votes. But if he can get up to 75%, he's going to get the votes. And I think, again, Barry Bonds deserves it. Manny Ramirez is a little bit questionable to me now. I said he didn't, so I think he deserved it. If Fred McGriff doesn't get in, Manny Ramirez doesn't get in. I only took away 5 to 10 home runs. I would say that's what steroids affect. You know, Manny Ramirez had 45 home runs a year. Just drop him to 40. He was still a great ball player, but steroids did give him 5 extra. 5 that he just muscled out with the extra steroids in his system. 435. 435 home runs if you take away it. That's over 12 years. I'm assuming he played 12 years. I know he's been around for a while, so I just don't see they're sending mixed messages to me. You know, you're letting Ramirez get more votes than Fred McGriff. Now, I went on to some website, or some guy wrote an article, and they said if Fred McGriff had used steroids, stats would be 564 home runs, 2,567 hits, and batting average of 293. Eerily similar to Manny Ramirez's stats. But McGriff didn't use steroids. And if you take away Manny Ramirez's steroids, obviously there's no great and 100% efficient way to take away a player's stats if he didn't have steroids in him. But, you know, if you just do some quick math, just take away a little bit here, a little bit there, McGriff has much better stats. McGriff has 50 more homers, almost 100 more hits, and the batting average is about the same. Yet he got less percent of votes than Manny Ramirez. I think the baseball community, that's not what I meant to say, the baseball commissioner, Bud Selig, and the baseball, whoever votes for the Hall of Fame, they need to send a message. Either no steroids at all. No Bonds, no one. They don't have them even on the ballot. Don't let them be votable. If they have been accused and proved that they've used steroids, and you're saying that they're not going to be able to get in, then don't let them be on the ballot. Or let them be on the ballot and vote for them because they deserve it. Barry Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, steroids or not. Oh, steroids. Even if he used steroids, he definitely used steroids. So, I don't know. They need to clarify what. So in my opinion, I'd say Bonds definitely should deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Ramirez, if McGriff gets in, Ramirez gets in. If Ramirez gets in and McGriff doesn't, there's a problem there. And if McGriff gets in and Ramirez doesn't get in, then they've put their foot down on steroid usage. Sammy Sosa, you take away his batting average is just too low. He hit 609 home runs, which is impressive, but you take away steroids and you drop him 0.13. He's down to 260. That's barely above average. Saying about average player is batting 250. So, I don't know. That's just my take on it. Be sure to leave your take on it in the comment section down below. This video, again, should be going out Tuesday. Kind of a new type of video. Trying to keep daily uploads up on the channel. Hopefully it'll be the 4th day in a row. And I've kind of making myself a schedule. So, pre-recording this, hopefully you can get out there. Again, leave your just start a discussion down there in the comments with me. Please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. And if you like content like this, any type of sport, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys later.